Today I would like to return to the subject of the Mandela effect, and because I know that for some people this subject is just not worth talking about. It's just some kooky thing with I don't know, no real merit behind it, or no real interest level that one should or could or ought to possibly have in it when there are so many more important things to discuss, matters of dire importance that must be discussed. Well, if you don't want to watch, then don't watch. I don't know why you're even watching now, because I'm sure I put the term Mandela effect in the title. And for those who are watching, again, I would just say it's number one, if you really just want me to go on about how crappy things are right now and the ways in which things are crappy, I spend a lot of time on that. I do spend a lot of time talking about the crap and the shit and the fucking mess that we are in, and the ways in which we are being misled and bamboozled and screwed and taken 6 ways from Sunday. So I don't know, maybe sometimes it's good to mix in some other stuff. And also I'm open-minded. I'm aware that the Mandela effect could have some kind of explanation that relates to this kind of stuff that's going on right now. I'm not saying it of necessity does. I'm not saying that there is necessarily anything to it, but I do think it relates, or it could possibly relate to what we see happening around us. So the other day I talked about how, my main connection with the Mandela effect is the Berenstain Bears. I do not have, I go into this in the prior video about why I find every explanation for this particular change in this name of this famous brand of children's books, which this change that has been noticed by millions of people, not just me. I don't find any explanation for it to be satisfactory. I just don't. And when you can't find the more mundane explanation satisfactory, then you have to entertain other possibilities. So that was kind of my entree into the whole Mandela effect world. Now, I do think that it's a complicated matter, because if the Mandela effect exists, if it is true, then it exists alongside many aspects of it that are either mistaken and or hoaxes. And I've talked before, like in a video that I did a long time ago, which is now lost, I talked about how I was looking into certain things, certain claims of Mandela effect, people's experiences with the Mandela effect. And I saw a clear-cut case of fraud, where I knew somebody was just making stuff up, just to, I don't know, maybe just to mess with people or just to have fun or whatever. He was trying his hardest to make it seem realistic, but there was a dead giveaway that made me, let me know that it wasn't for real. What it was this guy was saying, I remember for sure that the state of Montana used to be an oceanfront state. It used to have, it used to be on the edge of the Pacific Ocean, just like Washington State does, and just like California does. And he was saying he had clear memories of such and such ship being ported. He claimed to be from Montana, and he remembered that this particular ship was ported along the bay that was Montana, the oceanfront state. And when he used the word ported, I knew that this was a phony, because nobody in America says ported. No native Montanian or whatever would say a ship is ported somewhere. They would say it's docked. That's the terminology we use here. So obviously this was somebody, writing in, I don't know, maybe one of the Anglophile nations, where it's more common just to talk about ships being ported. So there's that little complication. There's that wrinkle to it. Again, showing a fraud in a particular case, and that to me was not. I mean, it may not have been a smoking bullet as far as fraud goes, but for me that just showed this wasn't real. That showed that this person who was making this entry was just messing around, and he screwed up. He screwed up because he didn't do his research. I mean, it was very well researched. It seemed very believable in a lot of ways, and then he goes and uses this term that nobody in America would use, except maybe in a different timeline. Ooh, there's the out. There's the out. I don't know. There's always something, but for me, that showed fraud. Now, I want to consider something else, and that is, this is not something that for me is nearly as clear-cut a case of Mandela effect as Berenstain, but this is something I've heard mentioned a few times, and I do concur. I do remember this particular shift. My memory of this is much more vague, and also when there might be explanations for this particular shift that don't necessarily mean don't necessarily add up to being the Mandela effect. But, and I know this is going to sound strange to some people or sound like I'm losing my marbles to some people, but I honestly remember. I just have to be honest. This is how I remember things. I remember old maps of North America and South America, and if you look on a map today of the New World, the Western Hemisphere, you see that South America goes way, like North America is here, and South America goes way over here. It's much farther east. It starts much farther east than where you see land beginning in the United States and in Canada. Okay. Well, maybe part of Canada actually juts a little bit further east, because they have one time zone that's 1 hour later than Eastern time zone, which is the latest time zone in America. But there's one hour earlier. I think Nova Scotia is an hour earlier than it is here in the East Coast. So right now it's 3:30 in Nova Scotia, and it's because it's 2:20 here on the East Coast of the United States in Eastern Standard Time. So you look on the map and you see that South America juts out way out into the Atlantic this way, right? If you're looking at, if you take my perspective and you're looking at a map, it's going this way. It's going east. It's going much farther east. Well, I'm telling you that I can remember a time when maps did not look that way. I remember when the standard map of North and South America was, you'd have North America, then you'd have, Central Mexico and Central America, and then there'd be that little strip that goes down that leads to South America, and the continent begins in South America. And I will be darned if I don't remember South America being more or less directly under North America. Okay? And this is one of those times where it would help if I had visual aids, which I don't. I don't have any kind of aids, by the way, but I'm bummed. But I don't have visual aids either. But I swear that here's an unwrapped straw. The line here's the land line, okay, on the coast of North America and South America. It was like this. There was really no and moreover, the entire continent of South America just went directly down, just directly south. It didn't jut out to the east to an enormous extent the way that it does now. If you look at a map, it was just right under North America, and that's how I remember maps looking. That's how I remembered thinking of South America as just being right directly underneath. Not being directly underneath, but also way out this way, way out to the east, farther than we're ever on the east here in North America. And that's how I remember it. It could be that maps used to be drawn in that way. That was that kind of that didn't correctly display geography, and then they decided to make a change at some point to show more accurately or adequately what South American geography really is. But I'm telling you my honest memory of my childhood was that South America was right under North America. Okay? Now, I'm interested to know from those, again, who are open-minded about this whole Mandela effect thing. I would like to know if you remember anything like, if you're around my age, or maybe you're don't even have to be my age, but maybe if this rings a bell to anyone, or do you just always remember being South America being, slanted way this way when compared to North America? Much to have the shoreline be way, not instead of like this, have it be like, all of a sudden it goes around like that. I don't know. Let me know. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. My name is Andy Nowicki. Please check out my work at altrightnovelist.com.